Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Today we will do a bead weaving project with these beads, the pearls, and then this cuboid crystals that we got in the GGC treasure box. And I'm using these two beads from the treasure box. I'm using some 15 seed beads from my stash in copper metallic color, and then this pearlized color 8 seed beads from my stash as well. And then I have some 0.006 inch wildfire from bead lawn in white color, frost color, whichever you can call. So these are the items that I'm using today for this project. And then of course you will need a clasp and clasp of your choice. So we have a toggle clasp, 3 toggle clasps in the treasure box. I just separated all the items in the treasure box in this format. Not all the beads are here, but most of the findings are over here. So in this we have I use 2 toggle clasp. I still have one, and then I have 4 of this um, lobster claw also. So I can use any of these with my project, so that should not be a problem. And then what I'm going to do is I am just going to take this if I'm going to use a lobster claw class, which is this right here, I am going to actually take a closed jump ring. Not this probably, because it's very small. I have in my stash some bigger jump rings. We can start from there actually. So that's that. And then I have a wingspan of thread attached to my size 10 beading needle. Wingspan is your hand stretched out across fully on both sides, and starting from one end to the other end is a wingspan. I have that much thread in this needle, and then the cuboid beads, and we have our clasp and everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with my clasp as such. So what I can do is I can take some so to do the clasp, I'm gonna take some 8 seed beads, because what happens with the other seed beads is the 15 O's is it becomes way too small, and it's not like I would use this later. Let's just finish the main part, and then we will leave a tail for to attach the clasp at the end, so that way it's good. Now I'm going to pick up some 8 seed beads, like 4 of my 8 seed beads. This is not a good brand, I'm saying. That's why these have different sizes, but this one is. So we will have to actually fish the beads, the good ones, from this. So I have 4 8 seed beads, which I drop it down to my tail. This is my tail end. I need to leave about, because I'm going to weave in the clasp, so I'm going to leave about 10 inches of thread, and then I'm going to come back and go through the first 8 seed beads that we added. So that will create a unit right here, just like so. So now what I will do is I'll pick up a 15 come back through the next 8 in my circle. It's a right angle weave. Okay, the speed is not even going through it. Okay, let me try the next one. Yes, it does. Okay, now go through this. Okay, Pick up another one, another of 15 and then go through the next seed bead, the 8 of seed beads. Okay. So the needle that I have is a Pony brand. That's what it is called. I don't know if it is a this 15 is not going as well. Hopefully this does. Yep. Add another 15 and go through the next 8 seed beads you have in the circle, and then pick up another 15 and go through the last 8 seed beads. So that's like a right angle unit. So we have embellished the right angle unit with some 15 This is what I have so far. So now what we are going to do is I am going to leave the tail aside. Okay, my thread is coming out, my working thread is coming out of an 8 and I'm going to go through the next 15 and then I'm going to go through the next 8 in my circle, and then I'm going to go through the next 15 and the next 8. So to position myself to start our project, see, my tail thread is coming out of this and my working thread is coming out of this. Okay, now I'm ready to pick up the cuboids and the 18 Pick up one cuboid, one 8, one cuboid, one 8, one cuboid, and one 8 seed beads. So, and one more cuboid. So you need 3 of the cuboids and 4 of the cuboids and 3 of the 8 seed beads, and then come back through the 8 seed beads your thread is originally exiting from. So this is what you will have. That's a big right angle unit. That's about it. So I want to go through the cuboid, the 8, the cuboid, and the 8, and come back through the opposite side of my unit. So my thread is exiting here. Okay, to reinforce, I am coming back through all of these one more time. Just like so. Come back through the 8. This is what I have so far. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the cuboids and not the 8. Okay, so that the cuboids so just the cuboids, and I come back through here and come back through the 8 right there. Okay, that will force this to sit on top like that. Okay, now the next unit is going to be this unit right here. Now pick up pick up 4 8s, sorry, 3 8s, and come back through the same 8 where your thread is exiting from, making a right angle unit. So the right angle unit always consists of 4 beads. So if there is already one bead, you need to pick up only two more. So you go through this one, the one in the bottom, and then the one in the top. And then position yours. Actually, before that, we have to embellish this unit, right? So pick up a 15-0, go through the next 8-0 seed bead, pick up another 15-0, go through the next 8-0 seed beads in the circle, pick up another 15-0, go through the next one, pick up another 15-0, and go through the last one. The 15-0 is not going through the needle. These ones doesn't go through. So I'm just going to put it aside. Pick up another 15-0. Check. Yes, it is going through. Now go ahead and do that. So this is what I have so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through the 15-0, the 8-0, 15-0, and then come back through this 8-0 so that I'm ready to start the next unit. Sometimes going through the 15-0s even twice will be a little bit challenging, but have patience. You can also switch through to a 12 size 12 beading needle. Then we created this. Now we pick up one cuboid, one 8-0, one cuboid, alternate it. So basically 4 cuboids and 8-0s in between. Drop it down to our project and then go back through the 8-0 your thread is exiting from in the first place. So now this is what I have so far. Now what we can do is we can reinforce it by going back through all of them. The cuboid has nice big holes, which I really like it a lot. If you're not able to go through all at the same time, you can go one by one if you want. Come back through this. Go back through the 8-0. So I went one more time around the unit, but I will come back through this cuboid, 8-0, cuboid, and 8-0 and position myself to add the next unit. Okay. So I just flip so that I can easily navigate my needle. That's about it. So my thread is exiting out of this unit, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up an 8-0, a 15-0, eight-oh, 15-0, 8-0, 15 rows. You can do this, or you can come back and do it one more time. It's totally up to you. Some 15 rows doesn't go through, so which is I have to add a 15 row over there. So pick up 3 8 rows and come back through this 8 row right here in our last unit. And then you can pick up a 15 row, go through the next bead, pick up another 15 row, go through the next one, pick up another 15 row, go through the next one, one more 15 row, and go through the last 8 of seed beads. Okay, this 15 row doesn't go through the needle, so I'm switching it to another one. So we got the unit ready. Now what we are going to do is we are going to position ourselves by coming through all of this and through this 8 row, and then the next cuboid triangle, square will come. That's a right angle weave that we are doing with one needle. You can also do this with 2 needles. It's totally up to you, but I prefer to do with one needle. I'm going to continue a little bit more and come back. So I finished adding all the beads to the length that I want, and this length is about, say, let me see, it's about 7 inches. Because I want to add the clasp, so that'll be half an inch. I'm just going to add this clasp, so it won't take that much of a space. So 7.5-inch bracelet is what I'm looking for, but if you want, you can add extra units. So now my thread is coming out of this 8 of seed beads. Then I will come back around here, and then I'm gonna add my clasp. So to finish the bracelet, I want to use this called wire guard or something like that. So this is to protect your thread and also to have a professional finished look. So I bought this a while ago from a gem show, I guess, but you can buy this anywhere you want, and it gives a professional look. Even if you finish it with the thread, it will not be shown. This is how it looks, and there is like a horseshoe, and you can see it has like a loop on 2 ends, and then there is a channel in between this. There's in the U, there's a channel wherein your needle goes. So let me show you guys. So if you put the needle here, see, it goes, and then you can come back through this loop, and then that way your thread will be secure. So for that, to add the wire guardian, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass through the 8 of seed beads, just the 8 of seed beads. If you just go through the core 4 beads and then leave the outside beads out, then that will force those beads to be projected out like that. So it's a good way. So now what I do is I go through the wire guardian on one side, just like so. Take my clasp, okay, the clasp needs to go through here, which it is not, because So I need a bigger clasp jump ring to attach that, but now I will go through this, okay, and then I will come back in the other loop just like that, and then go back through my 8 seed beads. That will force my thread to sit right in the channel, as you can see. So that's a wire guardian which I'm going to use for my project here, and then I will reinforce it by going one more time through the loop and then coming back one more time. This time I will go through the seed bead right next to it, or I can actually come through the 8 one more time. It doesn't matter, so it is nice and clear. So I did reinforce it, and then I will go through the 15 and the 8, and then come back through this 8, and then come back through the cuboid bead. Okay, now I am ready to start the embellishment. My thread is small, so I'll start the embellishment and finish the thread off, and then we can add more thread. But if you don't want to finish and add thread, you can always have like at least 2 wingspans of thread to work with, but I feel this to be much more easier. So now I am designing on the go, so I don't know exactly how many beads it's gonna take. So I'm just going to take my pearl that came with the thing, and then I'm gonna put it and see how well it sits here. Okay, well, I'll go back through the cuboid because I want to start here from here, not from the cuboid. So I'm here. So now if I pick up couple of seed beads, like 3 seed beads and this pearl and the 3 seed beads, I'm taking 15 seed beads, by the way, and see if everything goes through. Some 15s don't go through, so and then see how well this one sits. So I don't need 3 seed beads. I probably will need only 2 for sure. Okay, so I just want to put this on top and see how well it sits. Yeah, 2 seed beads. And put this just like so, then come back through the 8 in the cross. My thread is coming out, exiting out on the left, and I'm going from the right towards the left in the unit, just like so. Now it sits there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads. I'm doing 15 by the way, and then come back through the 8 on the top, and then add 2 more seed beads and come back through the 8. So we have embellished that part. I like the embellishment. If you like it in a different way, you can do it in a different way, but I like it. So I'm then going through the cuboid, and then this cuboid over here. I'm skipping the 8-0 so that the 8-0 stay projected, and then go back through the 8-0 here. Now I will go through the 8-0 here, and then I'm again ready to start the embellishment. But I'll finish off my thread. So how do I finish off my thread? It's so simple. All you need to do is pick up a thread underneath, make a loop, put your needle through the loop, and then tighten it up. Then go through the next bead. Again, catch the thread underneath, make a loop, and put your needle through the loop. Make sure your bead is not caught and your knot goes right in between beads. That's all the importance is here. And then come back through, go through the cuboid, I just got my thread tangled, but that's okay. I can take it out. Then make a knot here also. These are called half-hitch knots. You catch the thread underneath and then make a knot and go through this loop. Because this loop has bigger bead, bigger holes, so you can make more knots and pass through several times without any problems. So I would prefer doing that. If you are not able to put your needle through, just wiggle it around. You will be good. One more half hitch there. Go through the loop, tighten it up, and then bring it out. Then you can snip off the thread here. Somehow I got this. I'll make sure I burn that end and then make a knot over there, and then I'll come back how to add another new thread. I have here a wingspan of thread in my needle, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and put my needle underneath this loop because it's easy to add it here than anywhere. So I'm just going to put it under here, and then I'm gonna tie a knot over here right in between the 8-0 seed bead and the cuboid beads. The cuboid beads has a bigger hole, so after I put this knot I will be able to put it inside, put the knot inside the cuboid bead so that it's not seen. So I am doing an overhand knot, right over left, but I am doing a surgeon's knot. I'm going through the loop twice and then one more time, right over left, going through the loop once and then twice, and then tying it nicely. And I'm ready to, I will not snip this thread right now, but I can snip it later. So I just go through the cuboid right here, and then through the 8-0, and I'm ready to add the beads and come back here. So I will add 2 seed beads, 15 of seed beads, one of the pearl, and then 2 15 of seed beads, bring it down to my work. Okay, and then I'm going to go across this to this 8-0 seed bead. So my thread is coming out from the right, so I will go from the left to the right on the top so that it's crisscross, and then my beads sit right on top in the crossways. Okay, I think I should have added 3 beads is what my thought process is right now, because I can still see the thread here, so it's better to add 3 beads. 3 15 seed beads, one of them is going through this okay, now I go through this pearl, make it a little bit tighter, and then add 3 more seed beads. You can also use 11 of seed beads here. And then come back through this 8-0 right here. So 3 seed beads is the one which is correct. Now I will add that 1 seed bead and then go through all of these, and I will come back. Hi friends, welcome back. So this is the last unit that I'm working in this bracelet. So this is the last 3 beads that I'm going to add, and then I'm going to come back through this 8-0 seed beads across this unit, and then I'm going to pull my thread. This is my end tail, and this is my working thread. I have finished adding all the embellishments on top. Now my goal is to actually do a couple of half-hitch knots and finish off this thread, and then come back to the end tail thread and add our this is bead tips or wire guardian. Sorry, I don't know why the name didn't come to me. I just stopped right there. Okay, now I just go here, I twist my bracelet, I just take this and go through just the cuboid beads. I like to do this in the back, so it's not like much complicated for you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm just going through the cuboid beads. I'm not going through the 8 seed beads. That will push the 8 seed beads to sit up, like project outside outwards. So make sure the thread goes like this. See how I tighten it up, and you can see the difference between this side and this side. This one just pops. And then go through this 8 and then through the cuboid, and then through the cuboid here. Okay, and then you can do a half-inch knot, catch the thread underneath just like so, and make a loop and put your needle through the loop. Make sure this knot sits right in between the cuboid and the 8 so that you can hide the knot. That's a half-inch knot. Then I'm going through this 8 seed beads. It is a little bit tough, but we can pull it through. And then catch the thread here underneath. Make a half-inch knot. That's what I'm doing right here. Make sure your tail thread doesn't come inside. Somehow it got tangled. I'll untangle it and come back. So I took care of it, and I position my thread as if it's coming out here, and then I will probably go to the cuboid, and then I will snip this thread off with the scissors. So now I'm ready to actually do the tail thread. Add our wire guardian, and we should be good. So what I'm going to do is take another needle and thread this and come back. So I threaded in my needle with the tail thread, and now I have my wire guardian. So I put in my wire guardian just like so through one end of the loop, and then come back down, then go through the other end of the loop and through my 8 seed beads, the last 8 seed bead on the bracelet. Now I will again reinforce it by going through the loop one more time here and come back through the other end of the loop. Make sure the thread actually sits in the channel and not outside. Sometimes it happens, so make sure that that doesn't happen, and then come back. So I have reinforced twice. Now I will go ahead and do a half-inch knot here right next to my 8 and my 15 go through the 8 here in the circle, and then go through this 8. I'm skipping the 15 so that the 15 pops up, and then you can do a half-inch knot here, catch the thread underneath, make a loop, and then go ahead and tighten the loop and go through the 8 right next to it. Come back, go again, then you can go through this one right here. If the bead allows, if it doesn't, don't force it, you might break it. So what I will do is take it here, go through this cuboid, because cuboid has a very big hole, so it can accommodate multiple threads right here. There we go. And then go through here. Make a knot and snip off the thread. That's it. Then I'm going to just snip off my thread with the scissors right there, and my bracelet is done pretty much. All I have to add is these and these. So to add this, I need a jump ring. So as this, I'll use 3 jump rings. It's just my preference. The lobster claw clasp is very hard to add 2 jump rings, but for the ring I can add 2 jump rings. Open it up, add it over here and to your lobster claw clasp. I'm using a bent nose plier and a tweezer nose plier to do so. I really like this tool to actually open and close the jump ring. Open another one. These are, I think, 5mm jump rings. I have been having this for quite a while, so I'm not so sure which gauge they are, but they're a little bit on the thinner side, so if I can use 2, I would prefer to use 2 with this jump rings especially. But the ones that you got from the treasure box, those are really good ones. You can just use 1, that's good enough. So here we go. I have my bracelet done and ready, so it looks very pretty. I see a thread here. What I would do is, you can also, if you cannot cut it close, you can burn it. Make sure you don't burn the bead. This thread burns really fast, so as long as it takes to burn a little bit, that's good enough. So this is how my bracelet looks. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.